Hello, hello. Welcome back or welcome to Soul Whispers with Michelle. I am so happy to have you here with me. This is a soul-led message. So what that means is if this doesn't resonate deep down, if you are fighting with this story in any sort of way, leave it behind for the soul that it is truly meant to find. May love hold you, may truth guide you, and may you be released from whatever isn't yours to carry. And so it is. All right, my friends, we're going to jump right on in to the soul whisper. Let's see what your soul wants you to focus on. Ooh, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Your soul wants you to focus on taking care of something physical. This can be your finances. This can be your body. This can be anything that is physical. Now, as the story plays out, you're going to see more of where this specific area may be for you. Or you may already have an indication just based off of what I said. We'll see how we go, right? All right, so what's brought us to this? Why is it important for you to really nurture and take care of something in the physical? We have the 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗍, which is the advisor, because there's something that you need to learn. So the Hierophant, or what I like to call the advisor, usually comes into play when there's something our soul needs us to learn. So there's something about you taking care of something, nurturing it, that is going to show you basically what you need. So I almost feel like there could be like, it's almost like I'm looking for a key, because this is what I'm kind of feeling and seeing. Like there's a key to learning there's a key in taking care of something that is going to teach you something about how to grow. Something physical is what I'm getting from this. Okay. Let's see what this is opening up for you. And we have the 7 of Jars. So what's opening up for you are options. Okay. They're choices that are going to be opening up, which means there's also something to commit to opening up. So, it's like, if it is finances, what do you need to commit to? What have you learned about, right? About your finances? Have you learned something about your spending? Have you learned something about your savings? Have you learned something about, if we're talking about body, is there an exercise, a food, a diet, or a lifestyle change that you've been learning about? And that's going to open up and give you a lot more choices. With the 7, it's like the most aligned choice, right? It's opening up bigger choices for you. So again, it's up to you to see where this fits within your particular life, but this is your soul's whisper, or the message. What's already supporting you through this? We have the 5 of Pentacles. So something is already changing that you have been nurturing or are nurturing. And that change is already supporting you. Let's see what's coming in to further assist you. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. Wow, that's a lot of Pentacles. So the 6 of Pentacles is about an exchange, right? The give and the take. There's a harmony with it. How much do I give that I receive what I need to, how much do I give in order to receive back enough to replenish me, to keep going? So I feel like what's coming in is going to be this balance between the way that you give and the way that you receive. I'm almost getting this sense of finances, or I am getting the feeling of finances, but if this story fit you in a different way, allow that to be true if everything fits, okay? But with the financial thing, I am seeing like there has been some rockiness and some changes to that. But I do see you starting to move back into this, what do I have to give in order to get what I want in a harmonic way? Like that can allows this continual give and take, not like I give all of this and then I get back, but what is the word? I'm so famished or I'm so depleted by doing that I can't like get back up again to do more later. There's something about finding this balance, or even the fact that you know that, okay, so meaning this takes a lot of energy and it takes me, so I need to create this much because then I need to be able to rest for this period of time and then I can go back in with that same amount of energy. So this again is kind of going back into learning more about yourself and how you take care of things or how you need to be taken care of in order to find this good balance between this giving and this receiving. And again, this is opening up options. The truth is, there is a new idea. We have the Ace of Swords. There is a new idea coming through, or a new story, a new perception that wants to be anchored in. So I do feel like there's some sort of clarity. There's some sort of truth that you already know here. It's almost like I'm feeling this energy of like, this is the truth. And if you don't, I'm getting the feeling that this isn't your message then. Because you'd be resonating with this message if it was already. All right, commit to, we have the Six of Jars. Interesting. So again, sixes to me always talk about this harmony with this give and take. When we move into the jars or the water element, it reminds me more of a wave with your nervous system, or more of a wave like with your flow. So it's like what I'm sensing here is commit to finding your flow. I know we already talked about this, but this card coming out is more solidifying this finding your flow. What I talked about before, like I work for this long and then I rest for this long and then I do that same thing. You don't necessarily have to work like everybody else. You just need to find the way that you work, and be in harmony with that natural flow. So commit to finding your natural flow. And it looks or appears that is in part what opens up all of these choices, because you also have this understanding of, well, I can get this done in that period. So it opens up options of, okay, so I won't be able to do this next project until then, but it almost gives you more structure because and almost like interesting, what's coming through now is almost like a price structure, because now like what you need in order to support yourself. Getting back to that Six of Pentacles, that give and receive, it's like now what you need to support yourself, because you need this period of time where you're physically not doing anything because you're recalibrating or you're recharging in a sense. What is the undercurrent through this soul focus? We have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about that conflict, right? And the conflict with the self-sabotage. And that typically has to do, when we're talking about the swords, with some sort of mindset, some sort of communication error. When I mean communication errors, like you're either doing something or communicating something that is not actually in alignment with your story or your perception of the story. And so in essence, it's creating these waves or this nervous system activation within you. So I think in part, this is why your soul's asking you to focus on what you are physically doing to nurture yourself in order to flow with the sabotaging ideas or perceptions or expressions that you are currently going through. All right, let's see. Do what? What does your soul want you to do? The Hanged One. It's interesting because with the Queen of Pentacles, it does feel like it's a little bit more action based, right? But with the Suspended One or the Hanged Man coming out, it's like this is a perspective shift. This person puts themselves in a very uncomfortable position in order to see things from a different perspective. So you're kind of being asked, I would say, in a way, to do something that is uncomfortable. And it's weird to say this, but it's like, do something that is uncomfortable in the physical, right? With the Queen, we have the Queen of Pentacles, right? She's nurturing. She knows what everything in the physical needs in order to grow, in order to expand, develop, that type of a thing. And we have the Hanged One who's saying, you know how to do that, but I think you need to kind of look at things from a different perspective. And meaning, maybe there's some information, and remember, we were talking about learning something new. So there may be some information, like you've been taking care of yourself, but if you look at it from a different perspective, you may see that you really haven't been taking care of yourself. And because we've got so many 6s on the board, I feel like in essence, there has to do with something about flow, something about give and take. I feel like there's this balance, needing to find like a balance between this give and take, between action and rest. Kind of like this balance basically between like masculine and feminine energy. It feels like this is what your soul is calling you towards. All right, my friends, if this soul whisper supported you and you would like to reciprocate that support, my Venmo, my PayPal are located in the description. If you would like to support me in a free way, liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel really helps get it out there. So it is very much appreciated. So I thank you, and until the next whisper, my friends.